I'm Tiffany Taylor for The Hollywood Reporter, and I'm here with THR's awards analyst, Scott Feinberg. And today we are talking all about Emmy nominations and how the Me Too movement and Time's Up era could affect this year's Emmy nominations. Now, due to the eligibility window, some people you think might be affected actually aren't affected in this year's nominations. So, Scott, can you speak to that?
Well, so, one of the highest profile people to go down as a result of all this stuff in the last year is Kevin Spacey. But the most recent season of House of Cards was actually in the running last year. They didn't put out a season this year. This year, they're looking at shows that were released between June 1st of 2017 and May 31st of 2018. So that excludes Kevin Spacey. It also knocks out a couple of people who were accused of less severe things, but Aziz Ansari from Master of None, Morgan Freeman, The Story of God, those things exhausted their most recent season of eligibility when House of Cards did.
Who are some stars and shows that could be affected?
There are quite a few of those as well, which is a sad statement about how many people were swept up in all of this. Jeffrey Tambor is an interesting case. He was accused of sexual harassment by several co-workers on Transparent, the Amazon show, for which he won Best Actor in a Drama Series 3 years ago and 2 years ago and was nominated for it again a year ago. This year, he's not even going to be in the running for a nomination because they not only fired him, but they didn't even enter his performance for consideration. However, he is going to be on the ballot for another streaming services show, comedy show, and that is Netflix's Arrested Development, where he's a supporting actor, on the ballot at least. And he has been nominated in the past for that. I don't give him a great shot of that happening this year. Tambor denies what he was accused of, but acknowledges that he was bad in a lot of ways. Then you've got people who have been accused of things that they just totally deny. That includes James Franco over at HBO's The Deuce, which had a big first season. He was a producer, he was a director of several episodes, and he played the two main characters, twins. And so he was going to be in the mix until, accusations came out that he had been sort of inappropriate with acting students and other people over the years. He's denied it. He still managed to win a Golden Globe and Critics' Choice Award for his film, his performance in the film The Disaster Artist. Was not nominated for the Oscar, which happened a little after this had all started to sink in, so that might be more reflective of people just wanting to kind of give him a bit of a wide berth at the moment. I think that's likely to happen again with the Emmys. I think HBO is sort of reconciled with the fact that it's not going to really resonate this year, although they are sticking by him to the extent that he's already shot season 2. They didn't fire him. There is not, they feel there was not grounds to do that. Similarly with Seacrest, here's another guy who was at the Oscars impacted to an extent because a lot of people would not stop and talk to him after he was accused by his former stylist of sexual harassment, which he denies. He probably would have been seriously in contention for a hosting nomination. Now that's a little called into question because of the question marks surrounding him. It's just a number of people. People are, they're not drummed out of the industry like a Kevin Spacey or a Louis C.K., but they are in sort of purgatory in a way.
But Louis C.K. is an interesting one, so talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so as I say, he's gone. He acknowledged that he, behaved very inappropriately in ways that he had been accused of. So he was fired by FX, which had an overall deal with him and his production company, as part of which he not only made Louis, which was his show, but he also co-created Baskets and Better Things, both of which got major nominations a year ago. Now the question is, will they, even though he's no longer, working on them, he had nothing to do with the season of Baskets that's eligible. He had been an executive producer, writer, director. That's over with Baskets, but the season that is eligible for Better Things right now is one that he wrote every episode on, and wrote or co-wrote with Pamela Adlon, the star. And she's in a terrible position because they were great friends, but if she wants to have her show not be affected, she has to continue to sort of distance herself from this, and it doesn't really seem fair to punish her performance, which was nominated a year ago, because she was in some way associated with him. What's more interesting in a way is to see how many shows that are in the running, actually dealt with Me Too related stuff. Many of them were shot even before this stuff came out, and it's just a bizarre, coincidence. A year ago, of course, the winner was The Handmaid's Tale, which is basically imagining a world in which Me Too has run rampant, an America in which Me Too has run rampant. That's going to be seriously contending again. But then there's zillions of others, from Jessica Jones The Good Doctor and like Smilf. Smilf has an episode that's basically all about a Woody Allen situation. They have an episode where as she puts it, she is literally grabbed by the pussy and she says, "This is because of Donald Trump. We felt we needed to do this." And so there are a lot of shows that started on this track after Donald Trump, and now it really is more relevant than ever. Some of them, like 13 Reasons Why, I think, and others got into it after this all started coming to light. So, everybody's grappling with how to deal with this in one way or another.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for all of your insight. And for much more from Scott on this year's Emmy nominations, you can check out his blog at thr.com/therace.